Introduction: Unlocking the Power of Memory. Imagine being able to remember names, birthdays, cherished moments, and heartfelt stories as vividly as if they just happened. What if your memory wasn't something that declined with age, but something that evolved, sharpened, and deepened? Welcome to a journey of rediscovery, where we explore the powerful memory exercises designed specifically for seniors. These aren't just mental tricks. They are proven methods that tap into how our brains naturally work, helping to reignite your recall, boost clarity, and bring your most treasured memories back into focus. As we grow older, it's common to experience a little more tip-of-the-tongue frustration. We walk into a room and forget why. We see a familiar face and momentarily lose the name. It's natural, but it's not irreversible. The truth is the brain remains remarkably adaptable, even in later years. With the right habits, exercises, and mental focus, you can significantly improve your memory and maintain mental agility well into your golden years. In today's video, we'll walk through 5 easy and engaging exercises that anyone over 60 can start using today. Each one is backed by neuroscience and used by experts to help people just like you maintain a sharp, active mind. We'll start by giving you a quick overview of how memory works, how your brain stores and recalls information. Then, we'll dive into each exercise step by step, from visualization and association techniques to the power of meditation, movement, and social interaction. These aren't boring drills or complicated routines. They're simple, practical, and, dare we say, fun. And the best part? The benefits go beyond memory. These exercises will help you feel more connected, more confident, and more in control of your mental well-being. So grab a notebook or just sit back and listen. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, it's never too late to strengthen your memory. The brain is like a muscle, and just like your body, it thrives on movement, challenge, and care. Let's unlock the incredible potential within you. Let's reclaim your memory and make it shine brighter than ever. Stay with us, because what you're about to learn could transform the way you think, remember, and live. Chapter 1: Understanding Memory. A quick overview. Before we dive into the exercises, let's take a moment to understand how memory actually works. You don't need a neuroscience degree, just a little curiosity about the amazing machine inside your head. Your brain handles memory through an intricate process involving short-term and long-term storage. Think of short-term memory like a whiteboard. You write something down temporarily, but it fades quickly unless you intentionally reinforce it. On the other hand, long-term memory is like a vast library. Once something is stored there, it can be recalled days, months, or even years later, if you know how to access it. Memory formation begins with encoding, the process of perceiving and registering information. This information then passes into short-term memory, where it can either fade or move into long-term storage through repetition, emotional impact, or connection to something meaningful. But here's the challenge. As we age, our neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections, can slow down. Stress, poor sleep, social isolation, and even dietary habits all affect how efficiently we encode and retrieve memories. That's why it might feel harder to remember where you left your keys, but you can still vividly recall your childhood home. Seniors often face specific memory-related challenges, such as processing speed decline, working memory overload, or trouble with episodic memory, recalling personal events. But research shows that with regular cognitive engagement, these declines can be greatly minimized, even reversed in some cases. What does this mean for you? It means your memory isn't set in stone. You're not destined to forget. You have tools, real, actionable strategies that can reignite your brain's memory engine. But first, it helps to recognize your own memory patterns. Do you forget names more than dates? Do you mix up directions? Or maybe you remember feelings better than facts. Knowing your memory strengths and weaknesses is the first step to improving them. And once you do, the exercises we'll show you next will feel more natural, more impactful, and even enjoyable. So now that you understand the basics of memory, let's move into the practical part. Our first exercise is about visualization, one of the brain's most powerful tools. Ready? Let's begin. Chapter 2, Exercise 1, Visualization Techniques. Visualization is one of the most powerful and underused memory tools we have. It transforms abstract or forgettable information into vivid mental images that the brain can easily retrieve. Why does it work? Because the human brain is hardwired to remember pictures far better than words. In fact, visual memory is often stronger and longer lasting than verbal memory. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine you're trying to remember your grocery list. Apples, milk, bread, and eggs. If you just repeat the words in your mind, you might forget one or two. But now, visualize a cartoonish scene where a giant apple is juggling loaves of bread while standing on a milk carton with eggs raining from the sky. Strange? Yes. Memorable? Absolutely. That bizarre, colorful image engages more parts of your brain, making it easier to recall each item later. Visualization can also be applied to remembering names. If you meet someone named Sandy, imagine them standing on a sunny beach with sand between their toes. When you see them again, that image will likely pop into your head, bringing the name with it. Here's another method. Try creating a memory palace. This ancient technique, used by memory champions, involves imagining a familiar place, like your home, and placing vivid images of what you need to remember in specific rooms. For instance, to remember a speech, you might visualize key points placed on your living room, couch, kitchen counter, or bathroom mirror. When it's time to recall the information, you mentally walk through your house. And don't worry if your visuals feel silly or exaggerated. That's actually a good thing. The more unusual or emotional the image, the more likely your brain is to keep it. Here's a quick exercise you can try now. Think of a recent conversation you had with a friend. Now, replay that moment in your mind as if it were a movie. Picture where you were, what you were wearing, the sound around you. Try to recreate the exact moment with detail. By doing this regularly, you're training your brain to store and retrieve more vivid, detailed memories. The beauty of visualization is that it turns memory from passive recall into active imagination. It's creative, flexible, and fun. Plus, the more you practice, the more effortlessly your brain will connect concepts, people, and moments through imagery. So the next time you need to remember something, don't just think, see it. Paint it in your mind. Add color, sound, and movement. Let your imagination help you unlock your memory. Chapter 3, Exercise 2, Association and Linking. Have you ever met someone new, only to forget their name moments later? Or struggled to recall a list of items, even though you just saw it? That's where association and linking come in, two of the most effective tools for memory reinforcement. Association works by connecting new information to something you already know. Your brain loves familiarity. When you create a bridge between new content and an existing memory, it's much easier to retrieve later. For example, if you meet someone named Joy, you might think of your happiest moment and mentally link it to her smile. This connection turns a random name into something meaningful and anchored in your memory. Let's try a simple name exercise. Say you meet a man named Baker. Now, visualize him as chef's hat, covered in flour, pulling bread from an oven. This humorous, vivid association plants the name deep into your memory. The sillier or more exaggerated the image, the better it sticks. Linking goes a step further. It helps you remember sequences, like to-do lists or steps in a process, by chaining items together in a mental story. Suppose you need to remember keys, glasses, wallet, and phone. Picture yourself walking out the door and seeing keys dancing on the floor, glasses flying onto your face, your wallet barking like a dog, and your phone ringing so loud it floats away like a balloon. When you turn this list into a creative, animated sequence, you'll recall it effortlessly. Association and linking can also help you recall information in conversations. Let's say you want to remember someone's profession. If you learn that Karen is a nurse, you could picture her in a white uniform holding a stethoscope. The next time you see her, the image pops up, and so does her job title. Want to take it further? Create a people map, a visual or mental chart linking names to faces, places, and interests. For each new person you meet, build a mental card with their name, one strong visual, their hair, voice, or smile, and one fact linked to something you care about. These techniques work because they reflect how memory naturally functions, by connecting and organizing information. Isolated facts are hard to recall, but when facts form patterns, images, or stories, they become easier to retrieve and more enjoyable to remember. Start small. Use these methods to memorize phone numbers, names, errands, or even song lyrics. As your confidence grows, you'll find yourself more mentally agile, socially connected, and better able to hold on to important details. Memory is not just about recall, it's about connection. And through association and linking, your brain becomes a master of weaving the threads of daily life into lasting memory. Chapter 4, Exercise 3, Mindfulness and Meditation. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and constant mental chatter, one of the greatest gifts you can offer your brain is stillness. That's where mindfulness and meditation come in, not as abstract spiritual practices, but as scientifically validated tools to enhance memory, focus, and mental clarity, especially as we age. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It trains your brain to let go of distractions and truly absorb information, an essential step for better memory formation. Meditation, on the other hand, is a structured method to practice mindfulness. Together, they act like a detox for your overworked mind. When you're mindful, you're paying attention. And when you pay attention, you're more likely to encode memories effectively. Think of attention as the gatekeeper to memory. If the gate is open, experiences flow in and stay. If it's closed, they bounce off and vanish. Scientific studies show that just 10 to 15 minutes of daily meditation can increase gray matter in the hippocampus, the area of the brain most responsible for memory and learning. Other benefits include reduced cortisol, the stress hormone, improved sleep, and even better emotional regulation, all of which directly influence memory. So how do you start? Begin with a simple breathing meditation. Sit comfortably in a quiet space. Close your eyes gently. Focus on your breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your nose. If your mind drifts, gently bring your attention back to the breath. Do this for just 5 minutes. That's it. No chanting, no incense, just presence. As this becomes a habit, you can gradually increase the time or try guided meditations with a focus on memory enhancement. There's also a mindfulness practice called the body scan, where you mentally scan your body from head to toe, noticing sensations without reacting. This helps center your awareness and calms the nervous system, creating the perfect conditions for memory retention. And then there's mindful living. When you eat, really taste your food. When you listen to someone, fully listen. These micro moments of attention create stronger mental imprints, making everyday experiences more memorable. A great exercise is to recall your day mindfully each evening. Ask yourself, what did I notice today? Who did I talk to? What stood out? This reflection trains your memory by reinforcing details through calm, focused recall. Mindfulness is like watering the roots of your brain. It doesn't bring results overnight, but with daily practice, it strengthens the foundation of memory and presence. You'll feel more grounded, less overwhelmed, and more mentally alive. So take a breath, be here, and know that your brain thanks you every time you choose to slow down. Chapter 5, Exercise 4, Physical Activity and Brain Health. We often think of physical exercise as a way to stay in shape, manage weight, or keep our hearts healthy. But did you know that moving your body is also one of the most effective ways to boost your brain health and memory, especially after 60? The connection between movement and memory is profound. When you engage in regular physical activity, you increase blood flow to the brain, delivering essential oxygen and nutrients. This helps to stimulate the growth of new neurons and improve the function of existing ones, particularly in the hippocampus, the brain region central to memory and learning. What kind of exercise works best? You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. In fact, gentle and consistent movement is often the most sustainable and beneficial. Here are some powerful options. Brisk walking, Just 30 minutes a day can significantly boost brain connectivity and memory performance. Tai Chi or Qigong. These mindful movements enhance both balance and cognitive focus, especially beneficial for older adults. Swimming, a low-impact full-body exercise that improves circulation and reduces stress. Dancing combines physical movement with mental challenge, remembering steps, staying on rhythm, which makes it especially effective for brain stimulation. Studies have shown that seniors who engage in regular aerobic activity perform better on memory tests and have a lower risk of cognitive decline. Even light movement, like gardening, stretching, or doing housework, counts toward keeping your brain active. There's also a hormonal benefit. Exercise helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that can damage memory centers when chronically elevated. It also boosts dopamine and endorphins, chemicals associated with pleasure and focus, making it easier to concentrate and retain new information. But here's something even more exciting. Physical activity can reverse some signs of brain aging. In one study, adults over 60 who walked 3 times a week for a year saw actual growth in their hippocampus, an area that typically shrinks with age. To make this habit stick, pair it with something you enjoy. Listen to music, walk with a friend, or join a local class. The key is consistency. Think of movement not as a chore, but as an investment in your memory bank. You can even turn physical activity into a mental challenge. Count your steps, recite poems while stretching, or play memory games while on a treadmill. The combination of body and brain effort doubles the benefit. Remember, your brain doesn't live in isolation. It's nourished by the choices you make every day, including how you move. So lace up your shoes, take a deep breath, and start walking your way to a sharper memory. Conclusion: empowering your memory journey. You've made it to the end of this journey, but in truth, this is just the beginning of a new chapter in your life. One where memory loss doesn't define you. One where your mind remains clear, active, and vibrant because you've chosen to nurture it with intention. Let's take a moment to reflect. You've learned how your memory works, how short-term and long-term storage operate, and how lifestyle and focus impact your recall. You've explored 5 powerful, evidence-based exercises that you can integrate into your daily routine. Visualization, where mental imagery turns forgettable details into unforgettable scenes. Association and linking, where names, lists, and facts come to life through personal connections. Mindfulness and meditation, where a calm mind becomes fertile ground for memory to grow. Physical activity, where movement fuels mental clarity and even reverses signs of aging. Social engagement, where connection with others stimulates your emotional and cognitive self. These aren't just techniques. They're invitations, tools that empower you to take control of your mental health. Because your memory isn't a passive thing that fades with time. It's active, alive, and ready to grow if you give it the right environment. Start small. Choose just one of these exercises and do it today. Whether it's taking a walk, visualizing your grocery list, calling an old friend, or sitting quietly in mindful meditation. Each action is a step forward. And remember, aging doesn't mean losing who you are. In fact, it's often in this later stage of life that we become more of ourselves, richer in experience, deeper in wisdom, more connected to what truly matters. Your brain is your companion through it all. It holds your stories, your voice, your laughter, and your dreams. Take care of it. Talk to it. Challenge it. Celebrate it. If you found value in these exercises, don't keep them to yourself. Share this video with someone you care about. Leave a comment and tell us what practice resonated most with you. And if you'd like more content like this, filled with science-backed wisdom, encouragement, and practical guidance, subscribe to our channel. We're here every week to support your journey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing that your best mental years can still be ahead. With a few minutes of practice each day, your memory can become not just sharper, but stronger, more joyful, and more alive than ever before. You deserve that. Your story deserves to be remembered, clearly, confidently, and beautifully. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Share in the comments what stood out to you in this video. We'd love to hear it. Your feedback means a lot. Subscribe to Thrive Beyond 60 to turn on the bell, and join us for more videos. See you very soon.